All right, Stream Decker is taking a sweet time this morning, it looks like. All right. So we played some 5-color Niv to start Saturday, and it actually ended up feeling pretty reasonable. This is a very different take from the 5-color Niv deck that we had played on Saturday. So this, for starters, has Hero of the Precinct One, which seems reasonable because we have a lot of double-colored cards. Then, this deck has an Angel's Dragon sub-theme. You can find decks of the day listed on my website. Click videos, favorite. This deck has an Angel's Dragon sub-thing to try and enable Kaalia here, who when she enters the battlefield, you look at the top 6 cards of your library, and you can reveal an Angel and or Demon or Dragon cards from among them and put them into your hand. So we've got Seraph, Aurelia, Nicol, Bolas, and Niv-Mizzet Reborn here. Now, something that's important to note is that Niv-Mizzet explicitly only finds guild-paired cards, so he cannot get triple-colored cards. So Niv-Mizzet does not find Bolas or Kaalia, but Kaalia can find both of these. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here and see how this goes. Can we cut the lantern because it isn't foil? Asking the real questions. Asking the real questions. I'm gonna keep this. My threshold for keepable hands is usually can I cast all of my spells, and this hand can cast all of its spells. So, been a big fan of your YouTube for a while now. Wanted to ask, Crunkies reached #1 mythic with a unique black red. I saw the deck list. I don't know. It seemed like on paper it looked like a worse version of the black red aristocrats deck that we've played a lot of. Like I can't imagine not playing Dreadhorde Arcanist. Priest of the Forgotten Gods is also like a really messed up powerful card. Dreadhorde Butcher, yeah, whatever the card is, you know what I mean. You knew what I meant. I think I'm just time raveling into Nicol Bolas here.
Sorry I'm late.
Looks like we're playing against the Steal All Your Stuff deck, which generally speaking makes mid-range decks like this unplayable. Very, very, very similar to last season. If your mid-range deck isn't playing Command the Dreadhorde or Mass Manipulation, it just usually doesn't have a chance in these matchups. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of someone else. There's a lot of deck lists floating around. I remember seeing a couple of black-red decks and thinking, why aren't we just playing the Aristocrats deck? We could play some copies of Tristani. That's true. That would give us a good... Maybe it's worth playing some of those in the 75. It's also like, how do we beat this Hydroid Crisis too? They have lots of ways that generate lots of value. If I play this, I can then play this untapped and then Time Raveler something here. I'm gonna go ahead and send the Incubation Druid back to where it came from, because that makes 3 mana. Yeah, I guess my question is just like, why would you play that? What's the meaningful reason to play it over Mono Red? And what's the meaningful reason to play it over Aristocrats? Like, why isn't it a worse version of both of those things? I think it's a waste. I think it's a waste mail branch. I think not only does splashing a 2-drop white card make your deck less consistent in what it's trying to do, but I also think I have too many cards in just red and black that I want to play in that deck that I don't feel like that card's solving a problem that I have. Again, in Magic, intelligent deck building, in my opinion, isn't asking yourself the question, if I can do this thing. The intelligent deck building is asking yourself if I should do this thing. Like, what do I stand to gain from doing this? Why is it a meaningful change to my deck? This doesn't seem particularly good in this matchup. Yeah, maybe these hostage takers should be Tristani's. Veto's probably good here. It tags, Veto tags Manipulation and Nissa. Time Raveler was a little bit mediocre there. Aristocrats is too slow. So can you explain to me why this deck is meaningfully faster than the Aristocrats? I also disagree with your statement that that deck is fundamentally faster than the Aristocrats, because you're saying the Aristocrats is too slow, and then the deck you're recommending has fewer 1-drops in it. So, like, the curve is higher, but you're saying my deck is too slow. So can you explain to me why your deck with a higher curve is fundamentally faster than my deck that's lower to the ground? How is it pretty grindy? I'd argue that 4 copies of Phoenix are less grindy than Phoenix. Or less grindy than Priest, sorry. Hey, Crockett, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And again, if your goal is to go fast, that black-red deck's probably much slower than just playing traditional mono-red. Yeah, the black-red Aristocrats, I feel like the discussion you're having with me coming from the perspective of having not actually played the deck I'm asking you to compare it to. Yeah, that's fine. Is that fine? This gives me all 5 colors, right? Yeah, we'll keep that. We'll go this tapped next turn into Blood Crypt untapped Bolas the following turn. Yeah, there's more hasty threats in the Aristocrats deck too. So we can go ahead and Rampage, make them sacrifice a creature here. And again, like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure the deck is fine. And, like, you can win with almost anything you want on the ladder. It's, like, not super competitive. But, like, at the end of the day, I want to understand, like, from a theory perspective, why it's meaningfully different. Has more individually powerful cards. Can you give me an example? Because I'm pretty sure the only individually powerful card it plays is Phoenix. It's literally just Phoenix, right? So if I were to play Phoenix in the sideboard of the Aristocrats deck, it's like just like it, but better. There's a lot of decks in this current standard format, like these blue, green, and Bant decks that aren't really interacting with you. Do not need more lands at this point. I'm gonna elect to hold up Veto this turn rather than cast Thought Erasure, because I only have 1 blue source. Legion War Boss, I think, is an atrocious main deck card. I would argue that Legion War Boss is borderline unplayable in main decks just because there's so many people that are putting creatures into play. Every time I've registered main deck Legion War Boss, I've been incredibly disappointed. We're in a pretty good spot here this game. We get to Dovin's Veto their non-creature spell. Yeah, like Legion War Boss is mediocre against blockers. You lose tempo on your 3-drop a lot of the time with it. In addition to being mediocre against removal spells, it just doesn't attack through any board states. Yeah, it's also rancid. Like Ripjaw Raptor is a card that's been on the upswing on the ladder. Let's Kaalia first. So that way the Surveil can set up our draw for next turn. That's about how I was expecting this to go. Yeah, I'm not really sure that this card is standard playable. Like a 3/3 flying vigilance for 3 is like not a particularly good rate. Perfect. I mean, at least like this is a 3/3, right? So like it can attack Nissa next turn and attack them. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to swap these Hostage Takers to Tristanis. Or maybe the Lyra to Tristani. Lyra's a card. Nah, I probably want the Lyra. I'm going to swap the Hostage Takers to Tristanis after this match. Or maybe the Collision Colossus. What card do I need Collision Colossus to kill? I have like trophies and stuff. I don't even know that it's that unlucky. What's the Hyper Geo on hitting an Angel in this deck? How many Angels and Dragons do we have? We have 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 16. So our chances are approximately... I guess we're above 80%. That was pretty unfortunate. Math says we're above 8. We're about 80%. They're about 1 in 5 to brick. Yeah, this isn't bad. I think I'm gonna slide him underneath. And now here's the thing though. You know, we've bottomed 2 and we have another one in our hand. So like our chance to hit with this Kaalia is like pretty low now. So like, for instance, next turn, assuming I draw a non-dragon, I'm gonna have 12 hits in 49 cards. So I'm still above 80%. I guess that's better than I was expecting. Yeet! Unbanned Twin, how sad are you today? Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I want to play Lantern to try and play Niv-Mizzet next turn. This also gives me the option to like Kaalia plus Trophy if they play Anissa. Well, so we're in the position you're often going to be in against ramp decks. You're just like hoping they don't have another payoff. We are the 20%. We are the 20%. Never lucky. Ever, ever, ever. Never tell me the odds, chat. That's fine. If they have another payoff here, it doesn't matter and we're dead anyways. Even just like Mass Manipulation or Entrancing Melody here is game over. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Let's put some Tristanis in the sideboard. I like that. So I know they didn't take any of our stuff that game, but I feel like it's a good hedge because we're gonna play against that deck some more. These Collision Colossuses don't seem super reasonable. And Collision Colossus isn't foil and Tristani is, so you know, it's good EV. I probably don't want Hostage Taker in my board if I'm boarding Tristani. I'll throw the last trophy in. That card's good against Nexus. Hey, Solomon. Thank you for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you're at. Well, I mean, we're on the draw. We're only missing red mana. Got a hero. We can cast a lot of our spells. I'm going to keep that. It's castable. I don't look at deck lists while I'm streaming Outrose. Just a little bit too much going on. If you'd like to add that with the sub-gifts you added earlier, though, that's probably fine. Can you just submit it through the form on the site? So I can remember to take a peek at it after. Ooh, Gates Elementals. That's exciting. It's neat. So, unfortunately, this Glacial Fortress is coming into play tapped next turn, so we won't be able to Niv-Mizzet unless we draw an untapped land. We can play Seraph for the scales, though, which is nice. Yeah, sub gifts, donations, bits, anytime you send dollar dues my way, you can use those. Use said dollar dues to impact the deck queue. The people that support my content, no matter how they support it, get to dictate what we do around here. All right, we drew a couple. And this feels like it's, again, another game where, like, our opponent's going to go incredibly far over the top of what we're able to put together. And these mid-range decks just have felt bad for this reason in my experience so far. Same thing as last season. It's just like, well, this deck's, like, kind of mid-rangey, but, like, there's just so many huge go-over-the-top cards that, like, this isn't a good enough go-over-the-top card a lot of the time. Yeah, they're going to make a bunch of zombies. Can we play through that? We might be able to play through that on the back of this hero. Hero's going to make some blockers. We get to Seraph next turn, too. We might be able to slog this out. Let's see. It'll be interesting to find out. All right, I think we're doing this so I can Assassin's Trophy this turn as well. This card is actually a textless 3/3. It's a 3/3 flying vigilance for 3. That's all it does. This isn't modern, and yet they're not playing a counterspell deck. If they don't have another spell to cast after it, there's no reason to float mana. So, I'm actually going to kill this in response to its first trigger. And the reason I'm killing it in response is because this way, whatever card they put back on top of their deck with its death trigger, they're going to fly past it. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, there's this Risen Reef trigger. Oh, I needed to let the Reef trigger resolve. I wasn't thinking about all the things that were going on. So now they get to redraw whatever they want. Yikes. I guess their graveyard's not that good. They can escape shift me again. Yeah, they just get Plaza. That's whatever. So was a missequencing. Should have let the Reef trigger resolve and then use the trophy. Hey, Live. Thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Zombie, zombie, zombie. Hey, hey. I'm going to cash this in as a game 2. So we're going to take 8, and we're going to eat 3 of these. Yeah, I thought they banned Bridge from Below. What's up with this? I like how this gives Vigilance, right? Yeah, it does. I like how every time we've played this and missed, our immediate next draw is an angel. All right, and we actually have them dead next turn, right? I'm not dead on the backswing, am I? They have 10 and I have 6 blockers. So they could have Gates Ablaze here. If they have Gates Ablaze, they're not dead because they're going to clean the board. If they have like a shock or a lightning strike, we're dead. Otherwise, we do have lethal in the air. Right, because this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 14 coming across in the air next turn. That's a close race. It's a close race. So I want to give her power to herself. So we attack with everything and mentor onto here. Yeah, I agree. Field really feels like an appropriate payoff for Scape Shift. I think they did a really good job with Field of making Scape Shift relevant without making it the awful experience that it is with Valakut in Modern. So, props where props are due. I feel like they did an excellent job there. How do you feel about this board plan? Do I want another trophy? I don't think so. I want Thought Erasure and Veto. I want to cut some of my spot removal. This seems fine. Let's go ahead and run it. Does bedazzling a field do anything? I mean, it stops it from making future zombies. Yeah, there's been a shocking lack of basic mountains on the ladder, which I think is giving a lot of people unrealistic expectations of the format. Because there's a lot of, like, sweet decks running around right now that just have not a snowball's chance against efficient aggro decks. But this happens every season where, like, people don't play the efficient aggro decks because there's lots of sweet things to be trying. So people are experimenting with other things, and once the reality sets in, the format will probably look pretty different. Yeah, Naya Feather's good because it's aggressive. Yeah, this is, in fact, looking at all the decks that we've been playing with and against on the ladder, this is why the Open next weekend is probably going to have a mono red mirror match in the finals. A bunch of people are going to show up with their decks that they think are sweet from playing on the ladder, and then, like, they're going to be like, oh, none of these are actually terrible. Yeah, I think this is fine. Huh. So, I can go Fountain tapped on 1, Gateway Plaza on 2, Thought Erasure plus Temple of Triumph on 3. Seems good. It's possible I could have been greedy and bottom Sacred Foundry there to keep another spell. Okay, that could go either way for me. Trophy does kill Field of Dead, which is funny. Scape Shift, Risen Reef, Gates Ablaze. I think I'm gonna take the Scape Shift. I don't have a good line against zombies this game, so this lets me cast Trophy. But I think I'm bottom bidding it for now. I have a lot of lands that let me cast Trophy. Let's get greedy. So I can cast Kaalia next turn, which is nice. I have white, red, black. Perfect. Holy crap. Holy crap, she had a text box. We did the thing! We did the thing! We did it! Ooh. Alright, do I Seraph or do I Lantern so I can do this next turn? I think I Seraph so I can, like, pressure them into Gates Ablazing. Because I would like them to Gates Ablaze to clear their reefs out. Now, what do I want a trophy? What do I care about trophy? We've not, right, I guess. We only played one Gates build that was really clunky. Hey, remember when I said this would get them to Gates Ablaze? Sweet. think I want to just do this. Let's just kill them. Hey, thanks for the very generous tier 2, definitely. I appreciate that. Hope life's treating you well wherever you're at. Remember to take a peek at the deck queue. Let me know if there's something there you'd like to see a lot sooner. My tier 2 subs short me extra, so they get to bump a deck every month. All right, we might get punished for not hitting the Field of the Dead. Of course, I assume they have multiple fields, so let's find out how many they have. We're probably going to be dead on their next untap. If we're really lucky, they sack too many lands and don't have 7 differently named lands in their deck, but that'd be pretty unlikely. Yeah, so it looks like they only have 2 Fields of the Dead. So if I'd have trophied one of the fields, they'd have only gotten like 8 zombies here, which would have maybe been beatable. Niv doesn't beat this though, right? I block 2, and then they have 17, so I take 30. The Gates deck, and like I said, this format is a format of incredible feel-bad swings for the mid-range and the control decks, right? Like, whether it's Scape Shift, whether it's Mass Manipulation, whether it's Command the Dreadhorde, mid-range decks like this, I think unless you get a little bit fortunate, they tend to really struggle. Because you sit there and like eke out value in this mid game, and then your opponent just plays one card that completely invalidates your last all of your turns. Even if we trophy there, they still get half as many zombies, which is probably still lethal over a couple of turns. Yeah, I agree, Greystar. So the reason why you don't play Find Finality, in my opinion, is because these decks are already really good at drawing lots of cards, so Find Finality doesn't really fix a problem that you have. Like, take, for example, these games that we're losing. We're losing with cards in our hand, so like having more cards that generate value doesn't seem like it's ideal. Yeah, I mean, and again, like, that's why the swings, like, those are the swings I'm talking about this format, Scholar. Like, you can literally grind your opponent down to essentially nothing, and then they have these cards that are just so swingy, they top deck them, and it invalidates all of the grinding that you did. Hey, thanks for the 14 months, Sanity, I appreciate that, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Play our double tap land here. We get to play Overgrown Tomb into Kaalia next turn, and then Drowned Catacomb into Nicol, Bolas, or Aurelia. So like really strong curve here, especially on the play. Oh, it only gets 1 angel, right? So Aurelia gives Trample, because Trample's a red ability, everybody knows. So even with this Drake, we're still going to be in a pretty good spot here, because we're going to get a lot of pressure down, and then we're going to be able to hold up Disruption. So I've got this Veto in my hand this game, so we've got a good mix of, all right, we're running you down. We're hoping to avoid them playing Cavalier of Thorns next turn. That would be their best possible card here, because that card has reach that it would keep our pressure off of us. Opponent trying to figure out why Cerulean Drake didn't block all the damage. So this basically just like says we have to stop playing. So this comes into play tapped. And now, do I want a Thought Erasure or I just want to hold up Dovin's Veto? If I see 2 payoffs, I'm going to be really sad that I didn't hold up Veto. Or see like land, double Scape Shift. Ooh, okay, well. Their hand's got a whole lot of nothing going on. So maybe we can go wide around this Cavalier Thorns. That's true. We might be able to flip Bolas down the line and go a little bit bigger. But again, it's just like every turn's kind of just like a ticking time bomb. We also have some Assassin's Trophies in our deck that will allow us to cut through this eventually. That's true. Seraph can start pressuring, right? Because it'll be Death Touch. The problem with that is it gets them Gates Ablaze back to their hand, but I guess I have Veto to cover that. Was kind of hoping to draw a land there, untapped land there, honestly, so we could hold up Veto while playing this, so they have a window to, like, hit Escape Shift and get us now. Meow. That's interesting. They elected to fry the one that doesn't give Death Touch. Seems good for me. Yep. This is going to go ahead and generate some zombies for them, but I've got a lot of things that have bigger butts than those, so that's nice. Because they have a 5/6 with Reach. Cavalier Thorns is the reason why I'm not attacking, for those wondering. Untapped land here would be great, so we can play Nicol Bolas and still hold up Veto. It does not have Vigilance, though, so this attack seems a little loose. Huh? Do I want to trophy this Cavalier? I'm not sure that I do, right? I think I just offer this trade. I'm just gonna offer the trade, I think. Yeah, I think holding up Veto this turn's important. Yeah, we also need to veto the Blaze that's going to go on top of their deck. That's true. Or that one. That's a good one to veto as well. Hey, Cinnabar, thank you for the 2/3 of a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Bye, Felicia. And then Hero and our 3/3 Vigilance doing a good job of making their zombies less relevant, which is nice. That attack is really aggressive. Yeah, trophying the field is probably right. It makes their Scape Shift worse too, in case they only have 2 fields. I have the 7th land. Oh, they don't have a basic. That's so greedy. Is the basic in the bin, maybe? Just no basic. Alright, we get to flip Nikki B over next turn. Single cards that invalidate every decision you've made. Come on, Niv-Mizzet. Come on, Niv-Mizzet. Alright. Alright. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Oh no. Oh no. God, the top of their deck has been hot. Oh, Tron. You suck to play against in every format. Thanks for the 10 months, Bean Bean. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. It's like Wrath your board, Angel to stabilize myself, Casual draw 6.
Be a beast when I can be a god.
I guess I just get back the other Bolas, right? That's the line. So that way if they answer this, I have another one. Sure. I don't think it matters, Tom. Think we've hit the point where none of my choices matter. I have to like take a bunch of game actions, but if they run anywhere close to average, we're just gonna get dumpstered from here. I mean, to be fair, Marty, I don't know how much standard you've been playing on the ladder, but there hasn't been a lot of Esper, just like there hasn't been a lot of Mono Red. People are trying lots of different things. They still got over 20 cards in their deck. So even after these draws, there's 22 cards in their deck. I haven't played much mono red at all on the ladder. We hit Mythic pretty quickly though, and that could change very quickly once people get bored of trying new things, but I've not played against much Esper or mono red in Mythic or on our way there. Yeah, how many lands do they have left is the question. Alright, they're down to 12 cards here. The Cerulean Drake is slowly nipping away at us. Looks like pecking around the corners.
My knowledge is endless.
Jeppenfenberg, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Is the gate stack even bad against mono red? It's awful against mono red. All of your lands come into play tapped for the most part. Playing the gate stack against mono red is like choosing to go third when you lose the die roll. Even as someone who's played the gate stack with 4 angels in it, 4 angels in the main deck, your red matchup is still bad. No, we did not. We're gonna try one more with this, but I assume we're gonna hit another mid-range deck that's far greedier than we are, and we're just not gonna have a shot. I feel like if you want to brew in this format, if you want to brew in this format, you need to be focusing on going lower than a deck like this is going, or going further over the top. It feels just like last season. This is one of the things that I found tough about last season in terms of like brewing and enjoyment, is that I think brewing mid-range decks is the most fun, but mid-range brews just like struggle to be relevant in a Teferi, Command the Dread Horde, mass manipulation format. Like you can build your mid-range decks to beat aggro. You can't build them to beat these decks that go infinitely over the top. Hey, Mojo, thanks for the 12 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Combo is best archetype. I mean, Nivik, I'm gonna point out your inconsistency here. So you're saying combo's the best archetype, but then you just complained that my opponent's combo control deck was boring to watch. So like, which is it? Can you pick a lane for me? Is combo the best, or was the last deck we just played against terrible to watch? 'Cause I feel like logically you can't say both of those things are true. Like their Scape Shift deck was very much a combo deck. Do control strategies constant? Yeah, control is the most over the top you can get. I feel so called out right now. Good, you should. What are we doing? I think I'm just playing Nikki B and attacking for 3. Now, this is a matchup that's probably okay for us until they command the Dread Horde. So our goal here is to apply as much pressure as possible, so that way our opponent's health total gets low enough that Dread Horde's not useful. Sure, I got 2 of these. I got 2 of the big Dorko. Arena cast turn 5 Niv. I will say this at least. I'm proud of my mana base again. I don't know that these decks are very good, but we've been consistently able to cast our spells without Lantern of Insight, which is like all you could really ask for. The fact that they just took that from me implies they have a Kaya's Wrath, or they're playing to that as an out at least. Wow, that's gonna be a yikes for me, dog. Come on, Niv, you're better than this. You're better than this, Niv.
Still have much to learn.
Wrong Lantern, whatever. You know what I was talking about. Ain't nobody got time to remember the names of Magic cards. Alright, so they're dead in 2 regardless, right? So I'm just going to attack with these. Actually, we drew Seraph. So I'm going to go ahead and play Seraph because Seraph leaves behind 2 1/1s, and then Aurelia makes them lethal. So if they play Kaya's Wrath this turn, they're still dead on our next turn, assuming they don't also have a removal spell. Felt pretty good. Bring in our discard spells and our counter spells against a control deck again here. Oh, that's true. Wrath has alt text that's not relevant. It's a good catch. Wrath would heal them. Do I want Angrath's Rampage in this matchup? I feel like I probably do. They probably don't have that many counterspells in their deck post board against us. I'm going to trim these. Rampage versus Trophy. Rampage is easier to cast. I wonder if I can cut a Chromatic Lantern. I'm going to cut a Lantern. Let's get a little greedy. We're on the draw. We can afford to stumble a little bit in a matchup like this. No, that's not true, Snap Bolt Snap. In the most recent Mythic Championship, there were a bunch of people who played Esper Control with 2 to 3 Bell Haunts in the main deck as the only creature. So once upon a time, Bellhaunt was only found in hero decks, but as of the most recent Mythic Championship, she's expanded out a little bit. Missing green and black mana currently, so kind of hoping this resolves next turn and doesn't get thought erasured. Well, I mean, there's our... Actually, I wasn't missing green, right? I'm only missing blue. Actually, I'm going to go ahead, since I drew the 4th land, I'm going to go ahead and cast this turn. So that way, next turn I can play a... Seraph is just better than Aurelia against a control deck. So next turn I can go Lantern into 2-mana spell. Just curve out real nice. Oath me, Poppy. Devout Decree. That card's actually really good against us, huh? And the fact that they burned a Devout Decree on a Kaalia, knowing I have a Seraph of the Scales, feels a little bit telling to me. I wouldn't be surprised to see another piece of exile removal when we thought erasure them here. That's a lot of beef. I'm assuming my opponent just scryed a land to the top of their deck, so I'm going to take their Excellence Binding here so they can't lock me off this Lantern. Although I should have just believed and known that we were going to be able to cast whatever we want next turn with the top of our deck. Because we're just that good, chat. We're just that good. Alright, so they're going to bounce my Lantern here because that's how Magic works. Trust me, I have a plan. Niv-Mizzet? Thanks for bouncing my impulse. I appreciate you. And once again, my mana base is great. I have all of my colors. If they miss their 5th land here, they're going to be in a bit of trouble. If they hit their 5th land, they could be okay. Wow, are we just Gaea's Wrathing this? Wrath is happening at instant speed right now, so...
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
So, they're gonna Wrath at my end of... What just happened? Did I float the wrong color? I forgot to float white, didn't I? Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. And the auto tapper just auto grabbed it, because that's what it does. And now I can't veto the Teferi. Fuck me. I thought I floated white with this. I definitely didn't.
I won't hide. You know what? I'm not done yet.
I wanted to be able to cast Veto after... if they took my Lantern off the table. So I was trying to tap in a way to make that possible. Alright, they didn't have a counterspell. It's not like... And they didn't have a counterspell and I drew the heroes. Like, it's not that big of a deal most likely here. We're still in a pretty good spot. You got it. She's dead. Until my opponent plays a Command the Dreadhorde, we're pretty reasonable. Hey, what's going on, Instant Smith? Thanks for the 34 months. We do, in fact, have a command for the bands. Alright, so we're hoping to draw a land for the turn, and then for Niv-Mizzet to draw another veto here. Again, just like the way we lose from a position like this is Command the Dreadhorde, so we're hoping to be able to prevent that from happening.
Like
We get to kill her next turn, so that's nice. That's the land I wanted for Christmas.
Such violence is upsetting.
Alright, so we're still in trouble if they rip Command the Dreadhorde off the top, but outside of a Command the Dreadhorde coming off the top, we should be pretty far ahead here. Alright, they've got a 1-turn window. As you will. Hey, Potato, thank you for the half a year support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. And you're dead. Do 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 do. When we're good at fading, we can pull it through. How we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you enjoy constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here, and we change decks every 60 minutes to 2 hours. You get a lot of variety in what we stream every day. As always, love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series. Just a Box coming in hot with that 9th month. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. BCW Supplies, the only ones I trust to protect my paper, Magic, the Gathering cards using code Jeff10. You can save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories there with them. The Professor just reviewed their Elite Guard 2 sleeves that came out earlier this year, and he gave them a very solid B+. Cardsphere.com will help you turn your cards into other cards directly with other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And of course, we'd like to welcome everyone out to the Hoaglandia. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for dropping in, spending part of your Monday here with us. For people wondering how I cast that veto, Lantern makes all your lands make all the colors. Hey, Blue Plain Creek, thank you very much for sharing that Prime this way this month. There's a lot of folks you could send that to. Thanks for sending it here and keeping me around. Twitch Prime pays my mortgage these days. Sure. A little slow, but again, kind of hard to pass up a hand that casts all my spells. It's been a lot of mid-range on the ladder lately, so keeping hands like this that are otherwise a little bit slow and clunky, I think is fine in a lot of these matchups. Hey, Furious Squirrel, thanks for the 19 months. We'd played the vegetable soup before the league started, so I didn't want to hammer it too much. We'll do it during the next show, I promise. Probably Sultai Dreadhorde, could just be Sultai Elementals. Huh? I just Kaalia here? I think I just Kaalia here, huh? What we play in Modern's Day? We played Grixis Dreadhorde Arcanist. And we played Black-Green Gitrog Monster. The Dreadhorde Arcanist was a little bit rough, but the Gitrog Monster deck was really good. Have you tried or seen a Boreal Grazer in Gates? I've not. One of the subs in the Discord server posted a Gates list that had Grazer in it, but we've not played it personally on stream. And I've not played against it with Grazer. Yikes. Do I pilot chats, deck ideas? Almost everything we do here on this stream is viewer submitted deck list, Hobbit Bob. If you're interested in getting one of your decks on stream at some point in the future, be sure to check out the deck submission process on my website here. I feel like I should probably plug that more if there's people that are here and subbed that don't know that most of what we play is viewer decks. I feel like I should probably plug that more. Am I playing Lantern this turn? I think I want to just Bedeck. And like kill one of these Risen Reefs. Not that they've not already drawn a bunch of cards. Nerd Girl's supposed to be calling in about 2 p.m. Central Time. And as always, you can find my schedule and what I plan to play when on which days on my website here. Yeah, it's a great way to put it, Brad. It is basically the new Rogue Refiner. I agree with that conclusion. I feel like Grazer and Growth Spiral aren't an either or for Gates. It's a why not both type situation. It's gonna be your first time clicking the draft button on Arena. One time way back, when the very first time we streamed Arena, we did a little bit of drafting because I didn't want to put money in. You could have Lantern and Bedecked last turn. That's not true. My land came into play tapped last turn. So if I played Lantern and a tapped land, I would have only had 1 mana up. Yeah. Watsy had put Arena on the Twitch bounty board, so we played it for the sake of getting the bounty board money. And then we fell in love. So for better or worse, it's Watsy's fault that we're here and I'm here playing Arena. Hey, Darth, thanks for the support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Get that for the Sultai tempo. Sounds good. We've died? Maybe. I mean, they haven't hit a Command the Dreadhorde yet, right? So I feel like Niv's a 6/6. So like this hip checks these Cavaliers and draws me some cards. Yeah, like until Command the Dreadhorde rears its ugly head. I'm done. We're done with this deck. To wrap up on this one, this format, unsurprisingly, feels identical to before M20 release, which isn't too surprising. Feels basically unplayable if you're playing a mid-range deck, if you don't have some big go over the top card. And this is not a big enough go over the top card to satisfy that requirement in this format. You need to be playing Dreadhorde or Mass Manipulation are the two best ones. Nissa to a degree is like okay, but she also helps enable those other two. And basically brewing mid-range is like not where you want to be in this format against the other decks that seem to be good. There's just too many other things that are established that go way over the top of you. I would recommend either trying to go further over the top of them in some way. How? I don't know exactly, but that's what I'd be looking to do. Or I would be trying to get under them with aggressive decks. So actually the next deck we're playing is going to be Black-Green Rock, which is an aggressive deck with some quality removal.